Hello, my freaky darlings. Welcome back. This week, I'm exploring one of the world's most haunted places, the Château de Trécesson. Now, before I get started, I should probably warn you, my French is shit. It's sad, but true. So you're just going to have to forgive my pronunciations on pretty much everything. So, the origin of Trécesson Castle is shrouded in mystery, much like its ghosts. Apparently it was once upon a time mentioned as the seat of the lords of Ploermel and Campignac from around the 8th century. The Trécesson family is documented since the 13th century, and its first known representative was the Knight Jean de Trécesson, whose grandson was Constable of Brittany in the 14th century. But traditional ideas place the construction of the site at the end of the 14th century. But it's apparently more probable that the castle in its present position dates from the 15th century. At that time, around 1440, the last Trécesson heiress married Ion de Cambrai. He and his son François added the name of Trécesson to their name and undertook the transformation and rebuilding of the chateau. The residence remained the property of Cambrai-Trécesson family until 1773, when the last of that line, Agathe de Trécesson, married René Joseph Le Prest de Château-Guéron. The chateau passed in 1793 to Nicolas Borel de Souvry, and subsequently to the Perrien, Montesquieu, and the Prunellet families. The Countess de Prunellet lives in the chateau today. So it's under private ownership, so you can't just go wandering around there, unfortunately. But yeah. Now, an interesting aside in the history of the chateau is that in June 1793, during the Reign of Terror following the French Revolution, the Girondist deputy Jacques Defermont, known as Defermont de Chapelier, having signed a protest action against the exclusion of the Gironde faction, was obliged to flee and took refuge in the chateau, where he remained hidden for over a year. Okay. I can't help it. That period in history fascinates me, especially the whole French Revolution and the chopping of heads and the guillotine, and I can't. Sorry if you don't share that passion. But anyway, now the most famous legend of the Château de Trécesson is probably the story of the White Lady. At the time when the castle belonged to Monsieur de Trécesson, some poachers witnessed a rather strange scene in the woods. A carriage pulled by 2 horses stopped, 2 men got out, and started digging a grave. Then the 2 men got back into the carriage and violently grabbed a young lady dressed in a white silk dress and wearing a wreath of flowers. The young bride was thrown into the grave and buried alive. Another version of the legend is that a thief that had been lurking around the Château de Trécesson spotted the 2 people digging the grave. Then the 2 people dragged the young woman, dressed in a bridal gown, and threw her body into the pit. So it's basically the same story. But then the thief ran home and told his wife about what he'd seen, claiming that he'd overheard the 2 people saying they'd buried the young woman alive because she had dishonored her family. His wife told him to run back and save the young woman, but once he returned, the young bride was already dead. Another version is that she was bricked up within the walls of the castle. Either way, since that dreadful night, the spirit of the young woman is said to haunt the roof of the castle when the full moon is out. But what the fuck did she do that they thought it would be okay to bury her alive? How the fuck did she supposedly dishonor her family that burying her alive was what they thought an okay punishment? What, wasn't she a fucking virgin? Anyway. Now, the interesting thing in French folklore is that white ladies, or dames blanches, are female spirits or supernatural beings. They called the dames blanches in the region of Lorraine and Normandy. In Occitane, and the Pyrenees Mountains, they're called damas blancas, where they appear near caves and caverns. Thomas Cately in 1870 described them as a type of fae who are a less benevolent character. They lurk in narrow places such as ravines, fords, and on bridges, and try to attract passerby attention. They may require you to join in her dance or assist her in order to get past her. If you provide the assistance, she makes many courtesies and then vanishes. One such dame was la Dame d'Aprigny, who appeared in a ravine in the Rue Quentin in Bayeux in Normandy, where passers-by had to dance a few rounds with her. Those who refused were thrown into the thistles and briar, while those who danced were not harmed. Another dame was seen on a narrow bridge in the district of Felice, named the Pont d'Argent. Anyway, she only allowed people to pass if they went on their knees to her. Anyone who refused was tormented by the elves, cats, and owls, and other creatures who helped her. The Dames Blanches also have close counterparts in both name and characterization in neighboring northern countries. So in Germany, the Weiße Frauen, and then the Dutch Low Countries, the Witte Wieven. So basically, these women have been wronged in some way and are pissed, and you need to play nice so that they let you get past them. Can't really blame them if, they've all been treated as badly as the white lady in the chateau. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you're interested in things that go bump in the night, conspiracy theories, urban legends, and other weird shit, please hit that subscribe button or the follow button, depending on which platform you're viewing this on at the moment. If you've read any of my books and enjoyed them, be a freaky darling and please leave a review wherever you bought it. Pretty please, with a bloody cherry on top. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. And whatever you do, give the white lady what she asks for. You might end up having elves tormenting you, which probably isn't as fun as it sounds.